based on a biped technique until now unknown to our species. Basically, I'm running!
Shut your stupid mouth and die already.
I've been watching bad movies for years now, and I've seen some pretty weird stuff. Joshua and the Promised Land, Trollland, Gaither's Pond, to name a few. And I truly thought that I saw the worst of it. That nothing out there can come close to these levels of ugliness. I was wrong. This is it, folks. This just might be the strangest movie I've ever seen. It is so uncanny. Just look at it.
Look at it! Look at it! Look at it!
Like, I get it. It's a prehistoric ancestor, and it's supposed to look kind of human, but not really human. But they went way too far. This movie is the living definition of Uncanny Valley. I've been disgusted by ugly character designs before, but never disturbed. It's like a horror movie. Could you imagine walking home at night and see one of these demon monkeys pelvic thrust towards you? It's the stuff of nightmares. All right, so who made this mess? More like, who didn't make this mess? Seriously, the intro part that rolls out the studio credits takes forever. And the list on IMDb is even worse. There's like 16 different studios that worked on this project. Just know that the main company is this French distribution production company called Paith Films, which in typical me fashion, I'm probably saying wrong.
Omelette de fromage?
This company has been making films for a long time. I think they've been on the scene since like the early 20th century. So the movie itself, which was released in 2015, is based on a story called Evolution Man, a book by Roy Lewis from 1960. There are so many different names for this movie. It was Evolution Man, How I Ate My Father, Why I Did Not Eat My Father, but I guess Animal Kingdom, Let's Go Ape is the one that they settled on for English audiences. Cause, you know, animals.
Look, a bunny-saw! You hit it!
It's even more heartbreaking when you realize that one of the producers was the same guy who worked on Ernest and Celestine, The Secret of Kells, and The Triplets of Bevelle. Those are amazing movies, and French animation is like comparable to top-tier American and Japanese stuff. But not this time. This movie is like Ice Age meets The Croods, meets The Lion King, meets Avatar, meets Brain Aneurysm. And as you can probably guess, this movie was a complete flop at the box office. Just absolutely devastating. And here's something that I discovered like the day before I recorded. The French version includes stuff that actually tells a better story. Not a great story, but a better story. For example, the English version left out that the mom died, that the kid broke his hand because of the wolf, that Thanos Kong and the witch doctor are teaming up to keep Edward out of the village. You know, plot! So all of these important plot points were removed in the English version. Why? Too violent, I guess? Maybe it scared kids? What I'm saying is, what plot this movie did have originally was butchered in the English version, and that is unacceptable. This makes the movie that much worse. It could have been better. Not great, but better. Instead, they removed it. They literally removed the most important parts of the movie in order to not scare children. What the hell? And I'm not making this up. Like, I am so 100% being real with you all. So I did a Let's Watch with my friends before recording and writing for the video. There's a part where the dad character is killed, and one of his sons takes him up into the tree. And I jokingly say, well, I'm taking this body so I can eat it. Which, again, I was joking about. Well, guess what? In the French version, they try to eat him.
I'm gonna go eat this now. Wait, who's pulling him up? Who is doing that?
My people need me.
I guess that's why they call the movie Why I Did Not Eat My Father. It just blows my mind. I cannot wait to share how absurd this movie is with you all. You're going to be having night terrors for the next few weeks. You see these dancing monkeys? Yeah, you're going to be seeing that in the corner of your bedroom at night with your sleep paralysis and these monkey lips. All right, so let's talk about the movie. It starts off with this terrifying clan of monkeys as they convulse and dance around. I thought they were summoning a chaos god at first. Yep, it's motion capture, which, to be fair, can be good at times, but not here. Not at all.
Nothing to worry about. We'll be back. All is well.
This is like the main reason why this movie falls into Uncanny Valley, especially with the faces. So what we have here is a birthing ceremony, and we get to meet all the great characters, such as Buff Monkey, Ugly Monkey, and Nervous Monkey. And like I said before, this is the English dub. That's why the lips are off sync and the audio doesn't really match up.
Well, not exactly tiny, Your Majesty. Small.
He's so small!
Wait, let's watch the lip sync, okay?
So the birthing ceremony is for the king's babies. But I was not ready for how they looked. Like, not ready at all. I was thinking maybe it might be like a baby gorilla or something, like the size of a human baby. But nope. Instead, they're like these tiny monkey fetuses, or fetuses? Fetus? Fetuli? I don't know what the plural of fetus is. As you can tell, I don't really say it too often. Fetuses. We'll go with that.
It's an error of nature. It will not survive.
And what is this dialogue?
He's tiny! He is so tiny! He is!
It's me whenever I see a tiny kitty cat.
He's so small!
So the witch doctor goes full on 300 and tells the king that he should throw away his second child, which isn't really the second child, it's actually his firstborn. So that means the weaker child is the heir to the throne, and we can't have that. So how do they get rid of this ugly baby? By throwing him off a tree and feed him to wolves.
When the boy was born, he was inspected. If he'd been small or puny,
He's so small!
he would have been discarded.
What a shame.
So some crazy nonsense happens, and the baby survives. He then gets rescued by this Squidward-looking monkey. So Squidward Monkey becomes the new dad. And we even get a Lion King transition as these two grow up with each other. So this is one of the most interesting parts about the movie. Something you'll notice in this film, because it's impossible not to notice, is that the main character, Edward, likes to put his hand in his pants. Oh, by the way, he has pants, like a loincloth looking underwear thing. But there's a reason for this. Yeah, the character breaks his arm, and that's why I guess the character puts his hand in his pants. So here's why the character actually has his hands in his pants. Apparently, it's paying homage to the guy who directed the movie and did the motion capture for the character. His name is Du Bois, whatever, Du Bois. So the guy's name was Du Bois, and I guess the actor hurt his hand in real life and hides it away in his pockets all the time. So it's something that particular actor does. So they did the same thing for the character, which is kind of strange. Not trying to sound like an ass, but most people on an international scale will not know who this guy is. They won't know that, oh, it's this actor, and that's why the character puts his hands in his pants. Like, I get that they're trying to pay homage, but it doesn't work. All I see is our main character with his hand on his junk the entire time. And it drives me crazy. Oh, it drives me nuts. I fucking hate this movie, guys.
Mustn't panic. Don't panic. Don't panic.
So, you know what's even worse than that, though? The characters talking.
No. I'm not plucking your butt.
Excuse me.
I thought he said, f***ing your butt. That's what I thought I heard. He said, plucking your butt, but for the life of me, I thought he said, I'm not gonna f*** your butt.
No. I'm not plucking your butt.
Okay, another thing about this movie that I noticed is the physics of the film. The physics are everywhere. I get it. It's a cartoon world. It's animated. Physics are supposed to be kind of wonky, but it doesn't really make sense here. There are moments where the characters like launch 20, 50 feet in the air, and I don't really know how they did it. And then there are moments where the characters fall like 100 feet onto the ground and survive. And there's a reason why this bothers me in particular, but I'll explain it here in a bit. So it turns out that Edward is smarter than the rest of the monkeys, but that's not saying much. His adopted dad is named Yag, and he's dumb as a rock.
Oh, yeah, man. Don't die me, man.
But right now, I ask you all, what is this film missing? What's the one thing that would make this movie amazing at this very moment? Shut up, I'll tell you. Monkey Quidditch along to the music of Bangarang. So this monkey boy is the buff baby from the start, and he's the future king of the clan.
Thank you for the ball.
With pleasure, your shyness.
All right, strap in for some of the weirdest dialogue ever exchanged in a movie.
Hey, anyone understand what he says? What he say? What is it? Anyone get it? We don't understand you. Not a single thing you say.
Yeah, I'm wondering the same thing. We then cut away from this scene and go back to Edward and Yag hanging outside of their home. And they're talking about something called the White Mountain and how it's some kind of mysterious paradise.
Hi, I'm Paul.
But things change direction quickly as the tribe falls in love with Edward and his inventions. Even the king is on board with it. But Thanos Kong, who looks a lot like Josh Brolin, is against it. So is the witch doctor, because like she looks evil, so she's probably evil. It's like a game. Who's the villain? Da-da-da-da-da-da. Who could it be? Is it her, this kid, or the demon monkey from fucking hell? And this is where the plot just goes crazy. All right, I'm going to do this fast. Hold on tight. The king begins to love Edward and his inventions. The village starts to like him too. The witch doctor then gets angry and runs off to summon the magical swarm of locusts. The locusts then attack the village. During the chaos, the king falls like 10 feet and lands on a rock. The village blames Edward and say that he tried to kill the king. The king survives, and then Thanos Kong shoves Edward off the tree. That's a lot of stuff that happened. Also, this is the scene that pisses me off about the physics. This guy fell 100 feet. This guy fell like 10 feet. And that somehow made people think that he died? Also, way to rip off Mufasa. So Edward finds himself in the combined world of Ice Age and the Croods. There's even a bit of Avatar: The Last Airbender thrown into it. The turtle ostrich? Okay.
Show me. No, don't be afraid.
We then get this bizarre scene where Edward runs on his legs for the first time ever, and he runs away from a bunch of wolves. This scene in particular reminds me so much of the Croods.
You missed me, honey.
So you're probably wondering, how can it get any crazier? Armadilloed rhinoceros, Boom. That's how. The rhinos stampede and roll up and start to crash into the tree. But Daddy Kong jumps into action and uses his super strength that apparently he has to save Edward's life.
He's the leader of the bunch. You know him well.
But again, we gotta steal from the Lion King, and Daddy Kong dies. It is so much like Mufasa. Just look at this scene. Come on, Dad, get up! It's me, your monkey son. Crikey, I'm the sniper from TF2 now.
Here's a touching story. Once upon a time you died. The end.
So at this point, you're probably wondering, how can this get any stranger? No, thank you for asking. How about a monkey version of the MLK speech?
I had a dream. I dreamt that all simians, be they tall or small, he's so small.
And then there's a tornado. Tornado, just a storm, comes out of nowhere, kills two of the characters, brings another character out of nowhere. And by the way, you can tell that this girl character, again, who comes out of nowhere in a storm, is the love interest because music. Oh, and her name is Lucy too. So Edward and Lucy are on their own. By the way, I thought that Yag was killed during the storm, which he isn't. It's actually so much worse. Like, Edward just straight up ditches Yag. This guy who saved his life, who nurtured him, who brought him up to be a one-handed monkey, just blown off. Bye. I got pussy to chase. Gotta go. Later. And we never see Yag again. Well, we see him again, but it's stupid as hell. But this other monkey, the weird, nervous monkey, yeah, he's dead. Never see him again. Bye.
Thank you for your silence, Vladimir.
I beg you don't let go.
So Edward and Lucy are on their own and run all over the land. And after a while, they eventually grow on each other. Oh man, check out those sexy monkey lips. Oh yeah, that's what my ancestors were all about. Plump, luscious monkey lips. Yes, please. What is this movie? This is so disturbing, like straight out of Uncanny Valley hell. And if you don't hate our main character already, let me seal the deal for you. By his own proclamation, he's a nice guy.
It's me. I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy. Whoa, whoa.
You can really tell by how sweet he is to her.
Oh, here we go. Now it's crying. Now that I do get.
And how he treats her with the utmost respect.
Just checking something.
And you really gotta admire how he's very cautious of her personal space. So after all of this BS, which, by the way, we're like, I think 40 minutes into the film by now, we finally get a plot. What? We get one of those in this movie? No way. So the village is afraid of change, but Edward encourages it. He said that they should come down from the tree and live their best lives. And you know what that means? Oh, it is song time. Time passes, and it's been about a year since they went to the ground. And we see Edward and his village become more advanced. Meanwhile, Thanos Kong, who is now the king of the tree, refuses to come down to the ground, and instead stays with his wife, who's got like this Karen-esque haircut. I need to speak to the monkey manager. Thank you. Thank you.
He looked at me!
I'm sorry. I can't get over how much this guy looks like Thanos. So what now? What do you do when the tree's all to yourself?
I rest, and then I eat a banana.
Oh, and guess who's pregnant? No, not him. Yeah, her.
Oh, can you hear me? Yoo-hoo! Oh, yeah, he moved!
So again, it's been about a year, and the witch doctor gets pissed off. So what does she do? She sends her swarm of magic bugs to destroy the new village.
What will you eat now?
The clan then gets angry and decide to go back to the tree and kill the witch.
Oh, man. You're just another species.
So this crazy pandemonium goes down where like the villagers are throwing fire everywhere and the tree starts to leak out this sap. And something happens that was the last thing I expected from this movie. The tree explodes. No, and the witch was in the tree, so she's dead now. Bye. Don't really know what you were about, but you're dead now. So the home is now destroyed, and nobody has nowhere to go. Edward then talks to his brother, and they decide to become a family and work together. But where do they go? Where can they call home? Remember those white mountains that they mentioned once and never again? There you go. Just go there. No build up to it. More like an afterthought.
To the White Mountain we go.
It's insane how much of this movie has nothing going on, and then all of a sudden, everything happens at once. The pacing is so bad.
I will show you who's the master. You'll see if I'm the master or not.
So they make their way to the Great Valley, they arrive, and that's the movie. Like, literally, that's the movie. It's over. Oh, and Yag's there, so I guess he went there whenever Edward ditched him. They have this loving embrace and reunite. Though I'm gonna be real with you, if I was Yag, I'd be like, oh, look who it is. It's my friend who just completely ditched me on the ground, surrounded by predators. You're a piece of garbage. I don't want to talk to you. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Don't talk to me, and you can't f my butt. Bye.
No. I'm not fucking your butt.
All right, let's go over my 5 points. First, the story. This is like a worse version of The Croods. Because in The Croods, you see the characters actually grow and have arcs and develop. Here, there's none of that. Most of the characters remain the same, except for like Thanos Kong. And the change that you do see with like the villagers is more out of necessity than actual development. It's like, do we change because we're supposed to so we can be better? Or do we do it because we want to eat food and not die?
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
The characters don't feel authentic, and that's because there's very little at stake here. Why should I care about these characters? I don't even like them. Maybe make it to where the tree is a very important part of their society, and that leaving it would be forbidden or something. But we don't get that. There's no commitment to it. And then you have characters who just disappear. The characters are volatile, they're ugly, and our main hero is one of the worst. He's supposed to be comic relief, but it doesn't work for me. And for some reason, you got these two characters who look the exact same. I don't even know why they exist. Why do you need two of them? You even get rid of one of them. It's just weird to me. I don't get it.
And nothing of value was lost.
Next, there's the voice acting. Oh man, this was rough. So I watched the French dub, and it is much better. Maybe it's because I can't understand what they're saying, really, but compared to the English dub, it's superior. There were times in the English dub where the characters just keep talking and talking and talking and talking and shut up. Dear God, shut up!
Hey, anyone understand what he says?
Be quiet.
What'd he say? What'd he say? What is it? Anyone get it?
Be quiet.
What's he doing? Why is he standing up like that? Tell me what he's talking about.
Shut up.
Then there's the dialogue. So there are some very bizarre exchanges between characters in this movie. The pacing is very weird. It'll go from being super slow to being rapid fire. I don't know if they're trying to be silly and this was some kind of comedy thing, but it does not work for me. Sometimes they went way too fast, and I couldn't keep up with what was going on.
Who did this?
No one, Your Majesty, absolutely no one. If there's anyone who's no one, it was him.
Vladimir spilled the beans!
Spill the beans, Vladimir.
Shut up!
After that, there's the editing. Why is the music so loud? There were moments where I had to turn down the volume. It was hurting my ears. And during the music, I couldn't hear what the characters were saying. There were also times where the movie kept moving from cut to cut to cut to cut. Slow down. Give me an establishing shot. Just slow down. And why the hell is Bangarang in this movie? More like Bananarang. And finally, the animation. You know, I think motion capture, when done right, can be fantastic. Like, look what Andy Serkis did with Smeagol, and then with Caesar with Planet of the Apes. When motion capture is done right, it can be amazing. But not here. Not at all. It's just bad. It's just so bad. It's like the movie couldn't make up its mind if it wanted to be cartoony or realistic. Because at some points, it's goofy and weird and kind of cartoony, like Wile E. Coyote or something. But then there are other moments where the camera is like right in the face of the character, and you can see all of like their skin cells and their luscious monkey lips, and it's ugh. Now, to be fair, there are some good particle effects in this movie, and the fur looks pretty good too. There is talent that went into this movie, but the story and the general direction of it was wasted. Also, let me say it once more for the people in the back. The faces of the characters are so creepy. I thought that, like, The Polar Express was bad, or Mars Needs Moms. But this movie is so much worse. Again, there are some bright sides to the animation. You got great lighting, and there's some actual good shots in this movie. But overall, the visuals are pretty bad, and they're a big turnoff of why I would want to watch this movie ever again. Alright, so how do we improve the movie? It's simple. Just watch The Croods. That's it. Just watch The Croods. It's a better movie. It already exists. And here's the thing though, The Croods isn't even that good of a movie. Like, it's passable, which really is a testament to how bad Let's Go Ape is. The motion capture doesn't do it for me. Just scrap that. You don't need that. You could have avoided the arm thing for the main character if you didn't do motion capture, but you did. So yeah, The Croods. That's the answer. That's how you make this movie better.
Never not be afraid.
Overall, this movie sucked. I was truly hoping for something that would fall into the realm of weird bad. You know, something that's kind of bizarre and goofy, but still fun to watch. But the characters, the story, the pacing, the editing, the voice acting, it all brings it down. The last thing I was expecting was a story that was worse than the visuals. That blows my mind. So yeah, Animal Kingdom Let's Go Ape, aka Evolution Man, aka Piece of Garbage, is absolutely terrible, and it will be the source of my nightmares for the foreseeable future. Don't watch it. Hey, I got a sponsor for reviewing this nightmarish film. So a big shout out to Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes covering tons of topics. This includes animation, illustration, creative writing, and much, much more. With a premium membership, you get unlimited access to high-quality classes from experts from various fields. It's a fantastic way to learn and sharpen your skills without having to spend a ton of money. Heck, an annual subscription is less than $10 a month, and it's super accessible too. Personally, I get a lot of questions from aspiring YouTubers who ask me where they can go to learn about making videos. I recommend checking out the film and video category on Skillshare. There are a lot of classes that can teach you a thing or two, such as do-it-yourself cinematography by Ryan Booth. So hit up the link in the description and get a 2-month free trial by using my Saberspark code. Go check it out for yourself and get your start on Skillshare today. Hey, it's the end of the video again, and I just wanted to say thank you for watching this one. Like I said, this is probably the weirdest thing I've seen. I know I say that a lot. This one is easily the most uncanny, and the fact that there was so much money put into this movie it doesn't help it. It makes things worse. Yeah, I think this film might be holding a special spot for the foreseeable future. But if you like the video, subscribe to the channel. I do videos like this every week. Hit me up on Twitter, and if you want to support me on Patreon, that link is down below too. So thanks again for watching the video, and I'll see you all next time.